Was news on your Simply the Best dial 103.5 FM. Coming up this morning, at least 3 feared dead and more than 40 others in critical condition after dynamite explosion on the Kaswa-Winneba highway. Also coming up, NDC promises to assume majority status as Parliament reconvenes from recess today.
I am very certain that Parliament and Ghana will go through a major constitutional test. And that constitutional test is that the NDC minority must become the majority from Wednesday next week.
Later in the bulletin, we'll tell you how a harmless Cho boy landed a torture mate in the Nsawim prison for 2 weeks.
I was standing with my master and I just said Chubu and they have arrested me and told them that I want to urinate and they begin slapping me and things and they sent me to Nsawim prison for almost 2 weeks.
We've got the details coming up right after this.
Star News is coming to you live on Ultimate 106.9 FM in Kumasi, Empire 102.7 FM in Takrady, Zeps 95.9 FM in Zebila, Nissim 100.1 FM in Lamshao, MyStar Radio in the USA, also live on Facebook on Star 103.5 FM and on starfm.com.gh around the world. This is Star 103.5 FM, Star News. Informed, in depth, in touch.
Many thanks to you for choosing Star News. I am Nurein. Abass. To begin the bulletin this morning, a tragic accident has claimed the lives of 3 market women and left 40 others in critical condition following a dynamite blast during a construction on the Kaswa-Winneba Road. The incident occurred in Budumburam in the central region. Star News can report that bodies of the deceased have been transported to the Winneba Trauma and Specialist Hospital mortuary for autopsy and preservation. Police investigations are underway to determine the full details of the blast and hold those responsible accountable for the disaster. Central Regional Correspondent Yao Boejan was at the scene and reports.
What actually happened was that a contractor who is working currently on Winneba, Kaswa to Winneba, on that dynamite this afternoon at around 12 p.m. and that lady, 3 market women, as now they are passed and lost their life. As about 40 of them are also in critical condition and are receiving treatment at the Winneba Trauma Hospital as at now. Yes, please. It has been confirmed by the doctor. Actually, these 3 market women died at a spot. Yes, they died at a spot because they were working at that area, and it is near a market center. So the 3 of them passed at a spot, and 40 of them also injured. And in fact, they are in critical condition, and as I'm speaking, they are all at the Winneba Trauma Hospital, and the diseased two are being sent to the mortuary at the same hospital, pending autopsy and investigation.
You heard our Central Regional Correspondent Yao Boejan there. Let's take you to Parliament now, because the minority has served notice it will trigger processes to assume the majority status in the legislature when Parliament reconvenes today. Former Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu at a rally over the weekend disclosed his side will demand the expulsion of some MPs from the majority side from Parliament in line with Article 97, Clause 1, Section D of the Constitution, which states that an MP shall vacate his seat if he leaves the party of which he was a member at the time of his election to Parliament to join another party or seeks to remain in Parliament as an independent member. Following the decision by 2 NPP MPs to contest the 2024 elections as independent candidates, the NDC MPs believe this is probable cause to trigger Article 97 and assume majority status.
On Tuesday, the Parliament of Ghana will reconvene. And when it reconvenes, I am very certain that Parliament and Ghana will go through a major constitutional test. And that constitutional test is that the NDC minority must become the majority from Wednesday next week. I assume, and this must happen if there is constitutional and legal proprietary in Ghana, because any nuanced interpretation of Article 97 provides that if a member of Parliament on a political party ticket like MPP defects and files to be independent, that MP ceases to be member of Parliament.
You heard the Member of Parliament for Tamale South, Haruna Idrisu. Ahead of the resumption of Parliament sittings today, Executive Director of the African Center for Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. Rashid Rahman, has been sharing his expectations with Star News.
Be a case that is dead on arrival if it ends up in the Supreme Court.
As she said, 2 months just before the elections, how impactful will this be if it even pulls through?
Well, it will be very, very impactful because, yes, maybe it might be for a short period of time, but we might go down in history as, you know, an instance where we had a president who had a party that did not have a majority in the House. And I believe that that's the history that, the NDC will be making with this, even if it doesn't impact significantly on legislative and government business. But, you know, despite the brevity of the period ahead of us, if it turns out that the NDC is majority, there's still government business that needs to be transacted. And I'm sure that certainly things are going to play out in a very interesting way. Late as it may be, we are going to see a lot of negotiation, a lot of compromise, and so on happening.
You heard Executive Director of the African Center for Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. Rashid Rahman, speaking to my colleague Vanessa Tutua Danso. Now, a harmless Cho boy has landed a Trotro mate in Dinsawam prison for 2 weeks. The young man by name Emmanuel Arthur shared his account on how he was arrested during the Reoccupy Jilobi House protest organized by Democracy Hub. Arthur claims he was apprehended by 8 police officers after uttering the phrase Cho boy. Emmanuel Arthur, who has been granted bail, recounts his experience with EIB Network's legal affairs correspondent Mutola Inusa when he made his 3rd appearance at the circuit court in Accra.
So that day, what happened?
That very day, that was Sunday, I came to station, I was standing with my master and I just said Chubu and they have arrested me. 8 policemen, they sent me to their head office and I told them that I want to urinate and they begin slapping me and things. And
you just said Chobwe.
Yeah.
Why did you say Chobwe?
Ask for that one, they asked for me, I don't know.
It's just a word that came from your mind, Chobwe.
Yeah.
Before you realized.
They have arrested me. And
they arrested you?
Yes.
Did you tell them you were a Trotomi?
Yeah, I told them.
What did they tell you?
They didn't say nothing.
They didn't say anything?
Yeah, and they sent me to Insaon prison for almost 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
The Ghana Police Service has declared wanted a man who was captured in a video footage with a weapon during the disturbances between NDC and NPP supporters at Mamobi in Accra. Images of the suspect identified with the pseudonym Fatau Motorway have been published to aid with investigations. The incident left 9 people injured. According to the police, 7 of the injured have been treated and discharged, while 2 remain hospitalized. This is still the Star Breakfast News. Now, the German ambassador to Ghana, Daniel Krul, has charged Ghana to deliver another peaceful elections come 7th December. According to him, the recent troubles in the West African sub-region, especially in the neighboring countries, have made it more imperative for Ghana to get it right. Ghana heads to the polls in less than 2 months, with the opposition accusing the EC of bias. There's more in this report.
Addressing the media on the joint U.S.-German Conflict Prevention Initiative, CSSM, which focuses on the northern part of Ghana, Ambassador Krul tasked Ghanaians to take a special interest in the process to ensure the stability of the country is preserved.
For the German side, we have a development portfolio because resilience in the north, number one is employment, is jobs. That's when you travel up north, that's what people tell you. if we want to strengthen resilience, we need more jobs up there. So our development portfolio amounts to more than 700 million in the entire Ghana. But so there are, especially in the northwest, several activities in the agricultural sector, which of course adds to the resilience in the north.
U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for Conflict and Stabilization Operations, Ann Witowski, revealed the initiative is aimed at building the resilience of communities and the beneficiary communities to avoid being used by insurgents.
We do some programs like health and education nationwide. We have some environmental programs that address illegal gold mining and illegal fishing, for example, that are in the South. But access to electricity, education completion rates, all those kinds of things are worse in the North. So they need assistance more. There are also national security concerns because of the threat of instability in Burkina Faso, so it's in the North. But I will say again, no, the United States is not trying to get a base in Ghana.
U.S. Ambassador to Ghana, Virginia Palmer, on her part, assured of more investment by the American government in not just human development, but also security.
We didn't go into a lot of detail, but in Chereponi, for example, we are providing solar panels so that the hospital can have continuous power and provide services 24 hours. We helped refurbish the police station so that the police could be present and respond, and local communities could trust the police and know that they would be there to respond. And we've also sponsored some training for traditional authorities, and that we were requested, and I think we're going to be able to deliver soon, some elections-related conflict resolution training for young people.
And that brings us to the end of the breakfast news this morning. When you log on to starfm.com.gh, you'll find more news updates there. I am Nurein Abass. Many thanks for your company. Next, we have Nana Ama Ajman with a sports chart. Do have a great day.